Eala shifts focus to Macau after SEA Games triumph. Alexandra Eala has arrived in Macau to celebrate her gold medal campaign in the 33rd Southeast Asian SEA Games Christmas Day and her entry into the 2025 MGM Macau Tennis Masters next week. Made it, Ms. Eala posted on her Instagram account with a Merry Christmas greeting as backdrop. I'd love to share the joy of winning gold with you guys at the 2025 MGM Macau Tennis Masters. The holidays are for sharing. Come spend them with us on court. The 20-year-old Filipina will have a short break with her family for Christmas in Macau before entering the exhibition tournament on December 27th and 28th featuring the legends of the sport. Ms. Eala, the WTA number 53, is one of the rising stars invited to the event, which will feature captains' teams, men's and women's singles as well as mixed doubles tournaments. The lefty will face world number 9 Mira Andreeva of Russia in the women's singles on Sunday. It's the first meeting for the world's young stars since Ms. Eala beat Ms. Andreeva 6-4, 6-0 in the quarterfinals of the 2022 US Open, which she ultimately won to become the first Filipina junior Grand Slam champion. Ms. Eala and Ms. Andreeva also teamed up for a second-round finish in the doubles of the same event. Before that, she will also figure in the mixed doubles with ATP number 253 Jerry Shang of China, clashing against the 18-year-old Ms. Andreeva and ATP number 182 Yibing Wu, also from China. Ms. Eala is coming off a 1 gold, 2 bronze campaign in the SEA Games last week in Nonthaburi, Thailand. She bagged bronze medals in the women's team event with Steffi Aludo, Alexa Milliam, Teniel Mides and Shara Rivera as well as in the mixed doubles with Nino Alcantara. Ms. Eala saved her best for last, scoring a 6-2, 6-1 romp of home bet Maninkaya Sawanki in the women's singles finals to become the first Filipina champion since Mari Cris Fernandez in 1999. John Brian Yulande. The last echo of applause from the SEA Games still lingered in the air when Eala finally allowed herself to breathe. Gold medals have a certain weight, not just the physical heft of medal and ribbon, but the invisible pressure of expectations met, of a nation's hopes briefly resting in your hands and smiling back at you. For days, the roar of the crowd, the rhythm of competition, and the surge of pride had carried her forward. Now, as the celebrations slowly faded, Eala stood at a familiar crossroads that elite athletes know well. Enjoy the victory, then move on. Macau waited. Victory, Eala knew, is never a destination. It is a checkpoint. The SEA Games triumph was meaningful, deeply so, but it was not the end of the journey. It was proof that the long hours on court, the early mornings, and the sacrifices were working. Yet tennis, like life, does not pause to admire yesterday's success. Another tournament always looms, another challenge quietly demanding attention. Macau represented that next chapter. As she packed her gear, Eala reflected on what the SEA Games had given her beyond medals. It had sharpened her competitive edge, reminded her of the strength drawn from representing her country, and reinforced the discipline required to perform under pressure. Each match had been a lesson in patience and adaptability. Each opponent had forced her to dig deeper, not just into her physical skills, but into her mindset. That mindset would be crucial in Macau. Unlike the SEA Games, where national pride fueled every rally, Macau would be different. The environment would be quieter, the pressure more internal than external. There would be no national anthems before matches, no familiar chants from the stands. Instead, there would be the hum of concentration, the soft squeak of shoes on hard court, and the steady beat of her own thoughts. For Eala, this shift was not a loss, it was an opportunity. Macau symbolized refinement. Where the SEA Games tested her ability to perform on a grand, emotional stage, Macau would test her consistency, focus, and maturity as a professional athlete. Every point would matter in subtler ways. Rankings, confidence, rhythm, all would be shaped by how she handled this transition. Traveling to Macau, Eala allowed herself one quiet moment of gratitude. She thought of the coaches who believed in her potential, the family who supported her dreams, and the fans who celebrated every victory as if it were their own. Success, she realized, is never solitary. It is built on countless unseen contributions, on trust and shared belief. But gratitude did not mean complacency. On the practice courts in Macau, there were no cheers, only work. Eala's focus sharpened as she adjusted to the conditions, studied her potential opponents, and fine-tuned her shots. The bounce of the ball felt slightly different here, the rhythm unfamiliar. These small differences mattered, and she embraced them. Adaptation had become second nature to her, a skill as important as her forehand or serve. In many ways, Macau felt like a mirror. It reflected who she was becoming as an athlete. No longer defined solely by promise or youth, Eala was stepping into a space shaped by accountability and growth. Each match was no longer just about winning. It was about learning how to manage momentum, how to recover from mistakes, and how to remain composed when things didn't go her way. The SEA Games victory had given her confidence. Macau would test whether she could sustain it. Between training sessions, Eala found moments of quiet reflection. She thought about the journey ahead, tournaments yet to come, challenges she had not faced, versions of herself she had not yet met. Tennis careers are built over years, not headlines. One triumph, no matter how sweet, must be folded carefully into the larger story. And what a story it was becoming! Macau was not a step away from glory, it was a step toward longevity. Toward becoming the kind of athlete who understands that excellence is not a peak but a practice. Eala knew there would be tough matches ahead, moments of doubt, and days when the game felt unforgiving. But she also knew she belonged here, on the court, under pressure, chasing improvement. As the tournament approached, she tied her shoes with the same calm determination that had carried her through the SEA Games. The medal was no longer around her neck, but its lessons remained firmly within her. Pride transformed into purpose. Celebration gave way to concentration. The focus had shifted. From the roar of a regional triumph to the quiet intensity of Macau, Eala moved forward, not chasing the past, but building the future, one match at a time.